Greetings, Benjamin J. from Ben's Trains with another in the series. Well, a follow-up on that Lionel 244 that I unboxed a bit ago. As you can see, I've done some judicious cleaning to it and a few drops of oil here and there. Got the axles lubed and broken loose. The rear axle was almost frozen. And lubed the push rods, wheel bearings. Anyway, I checked the front axle, and the front axle was wrapped with carpet fiber. Just absolutely wrapped with carpet fiber. I had to use a pair of hemostats and an X-Acto knife to cut through the fiber and pull it out of there. And when I did that, this locomotive just took off. Now I've got this set to forward only. I just want to do a quick demo so you can see this. Pulling 12 cars. This is 50% power now. As you see, this thing is just flying around this rail. So it's running just absolutely splendidly. No problem with it at all. It runs forward, reverse, it's a smoker, and it has a working headlight. Now I haven't done anything with the smoker yet. Let's turn this down to 40%. But it is smoking. And unfortunately you really can't see the smoke in video. It just doesn't show up, especially looking into the light like this. But there's a constant thin stream of smoke coming out of that, and I haven't done anything to it yet. Haven't even put any oil in it yet. And this locomotive is just running perfectly, just absolutely splendidly. $5 on eBay. So what I'm going to do with it, I have no idea. I bought it for parts, but obviously it's not going to wind up as parts. It's running too well. So what I will very likely do is look around for another shell and just transplant this motor. I could spend a few minutes working on it and actually repair that the holes in the boiler with some epoxy putty. I may do that. I don't know yet. It's only been here for, I don't know, a couple hours. But it's running. That's the interesting thing about it. You know, $5 and it's actually running just absolutely perfectly. Running really, really well. Lots of power. And that's still at 40%, pulling 12 cars. Take it back up to 50%. So once I got the carpet fibers off of that axle, this thing just came to life. A few drops of oil on the wheel bearings, the push rods, the slides, just some judicious lubrication, and you can see this locomotive is running just absolutely perfectly. I lubed the front and rear trucks, lubed the drawbar slide or pivot, and this is running really, really well. You couldn't ask it to run better than this. It's running just absolutely perfectly. Forward and reverse, working headlight, and a working smoker. A couple of little puffs of smoke just then. Anyway, so what I'm going to do with it, I'm not sure. Like I said, I could spend a few minutes and touch up the holes in the boiler. It's really strange that this is broken like this. It looks almost like it's been perhaps stabbed with a pair of scissors or something. I mean, I can't imagine how you could poke two holes straight through this boiler, especially in spots like this. Hard to say what has happened to that. But obviously it's broken. But it cleaned up rather well, even though the pilot is missing. It doesn't look bad at all. If it weren't for those holes in the boiler, I wouldn't have to do anything to it at all. I would run it as is, which I still may. We will see. But like I said, I originally bought it for the parts. Well, obviously, I'm not going to use it for parts. I'm not going to tear a motor apart that's running this well. So I will very likely look around for a shell to put this in. And may find one on eBay, may find one in some parts that I buy. You never know. But this motor is running just absolutely perfectly. Now, it's a smoker. It has a working headlight. It also has 2 additional weights that have been added to give it some downforce on the track. Weight adhesion, it's called. So this is actually going to be a really splendid running locomotive, as you can see. So there's 40% power, and this thing is running just absolutely perfectly. So the next thing I'll do, I'll let it get good and warm, put a few drops of mineral oil in it and see how that smoker works. Excuse me again. So, like I said, it's far from perfect, but for $5, I mean, you tell me, was it worth $5? And it's just running splendidly. No problem with it at all. Once I got those carbon fibers off of that front axle, this thing just came to life. So it had been sitting for decades, there's no doubt about that. Covered in genuine dirt, like garden soil. So I think this was probably stored in a shed or something like that. But as you can see, this is running just absolutely splendidly. So lots of power, a metal motor, smoker, front headlight, $5 on eBay. Really difficult to beat that. It really is. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick follow-up on this. So I'll be running this the rest of the day, see if I can get the smoker to work well, and then address the holes in the boiler. Like I said, I could fix this, and I may. I don't know yet. We will see. But for the rest of the day, I'm just going to run it. And it's running just absolutely perfectly. I was really, really surprised. You know, I bought this thing just for parts. It was a wreck. It was an absolute wreck. And it's running just superbly. You couldn't ask it to run better than this. Lots of power, really, really quick on a minimum amount of power. So anyway, I just wanted to do a quick follow-up video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.